Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, this video is not so good to talk about, but it was going to happen no matter what, and I figured this is something we should go and talk about overall, because I feel like it's kind of a fun topic to talk about, but also not too good for all of us that are still in the market for trying to actually go get a PS5 or even an Xbox as well. And the main topic of why it might be a little bit harder for us to actually go and end up getting actual console, so thank you so much for just following me on Twitch, is because I think China is officially starting to get consoles and officially is going to be entered on in for now them to start getting supply from Sony. So let's go talk about it. I think it's kind of a little fun topic on over here. As per usual, if you guys are new, don't mind this. You guys can always skip ahead a few seconds, but we do a little quick sellout. If you guys ever want to, is have the Amazon link down below for the PS5 if you guys are still looking for the actual Amazon restock itself. We also do have a giveaway going on for an actual PS5 itself. If you guys want to enter in on that, all you guys have to go is drop a subscription, pop the notifications, and also leave a like on the video, of course. We also do have the Twitter and Twitch stream, a link down below. We also have the Weeble. Sign up for Weeble and deposit $100. You guys get like $25 for free and free stocks, all federally assured and safe. And of course, Coinbase, you guys buy $100 with any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin as well. Always linked down below. Sorry for the quick little sell up there. Hope you guys never mind. So when it comes to this stuff, we have a few things I want to talk about, more so kind of showcase up the information, kind of give you guys my thoughts. And as always, for these types of more news and overall kind of Sony news, gaming news, or whatever, I always love hearing your thoughts. So if you guys want to go leave a comment down below, you guys are always very welcome to. So let's go and start this on up and go and talk about it. So I found this up on Amazon. I thought it was very, very intriguing. So I want to go and showcase this on up in the first place. So we saw this over here from Daniel Ahmed. Hopefully I said that right. Sony China has confirmed that it plans to officially launch the PlayStation 5 in mainland China during Q2 2021. Now, for anyone who's maybe curious on the dates and times on that, that could be anywhere between maybe April all the way up to maybe even more June-ish, give or take. I'd imagine it's kind of based on how the previous Indian drops happen, basically up in India, because they also had their pre-orders. I'd probably go and assume that they will probably have maybe pre-orders beforehand, and after they go and have the pre-orders done, they'll have more official stock kind of coming in, flowing a little bit more often after that. So kind of give you guys the time frame out here. And of course, you guys could probably lean to why I'm saying this might lean to hardcore restock issues in the future, because guess what? If we have a whole another 1.3 billion people to kind of go compete with, that might be a little bit harder if we still don't have our consoles, especially for some of these very, very under, supplied countries, such as in Europe, Canada, Australia, etc. America, we've had a lot of restocks, but still there's a lot of us, and probably you guys watching this video included, that are still trying to go get our consoles. I have no idea how to say this, so if I say it wrong, my bad. Tusao Uguchi, the president of SEI Shanghai, and Sodaya Hakito, a vice chairman, confirmed the news probably today, in a special Chinese New Year's greeting video. Basically, the video has nothing that important to go and kind of showcase. They just showed up a little bit of games overall in the background. The PlayStation 5 hardware was originally approved for sale back in December, and final preparations are currently underway, including the relevant approval of the software. The PS4 originally launched in March 2015 for China, so the PS5 will be faster. So basically, we'll have more access and public support when it comes to that stuff and actually able to go and actually sell the consoles themselves. I didn't want to showcase up on this in case any of you guys just know how to read Mandarin or whatever, but basically just kind of saying like the Sony Interactive, you guys can read it right over here, trying to basically make sure that they're actually be confirmed to go and sell the consoles in the actual country itself. The version launching during Q2 2021 will be the official mainland China version. It will likely have an online service region locked at launch. Currently, players in China are importing consoles from overseas markets such as Japan and the United States. So it's kind of, I guess, like the overall quick recap of what actually is going on and why it might be harder. So for me as like the YouTuber, there's a few things I'm going to want to touch on. Some fun information kind of built on in from the Chinese itself. We can maybe touch on that. And maybe can give you my thoughts on why it's going to be kind of maybe bad for us in America. But of course, other regions should be able to go play games and do stuff overall. So when it comes to a few things I want to touch on, number one, apparently some interesting stuff as well is that the current resale or scalping price for up in China is apparently around $1,000 or so, in USD, give or take. And then, as they kind of mentioned in that even little tweet thread, is that they've mainly been more so getting stock from Japan, but mainly from the United States. When I was going through the actual Reddit thread, apparently some people were even saying that they literally had stock available from the second day from the actual initial hype launch, aka from the United States, and they actually were able to go and move over consoles fast enough to actually go and sell consoles in China. As well, apparently a lot of people in China as well mainly use the United States, like they set up like a somewhat like a VPN to basically go and use all the stuff, like basically play all the United States games and basically play on the United States servers. You guys maybe sometimes will see that on like Pug or Fortnite or other those types of BR games, even maybe like Call of Duty, where we do see a lot of people in those other Asian markets trying to go play all the games. And I guess apparently that this more so makes sense because why I was always kind of curious, more so because if they're already playing on the United States version, they have what they basically just play on the United States server using like a VPN. As well, apparently also China has a very strict policy on what games they approve. And that's another kind of an interesting thing where basically all the games available for most people up in China are actually basically have to be pre-selected by the actual Chinese government itself. That's also, I think, another main reason why a lot of them like to play on the United States servers through a VPN or whatever, just so they can actually go and play and buy all the games themselves in the first place. Another few kind of interesting things I kind of thought was kind of interesting overall is that China actually does have the region lock. So I just kind of touched on that really like just 2 seconds ago, but I always kind of find it interesting whenever certain regions have very big, strict restrictions. I know back in the day, a lot of Europe kind of had the similar issues, even especially just from like the actual power outlets, which sometimes would make a lot of games. Also the PAL, I believe it was, where they basically had completely different games. I believe as of now, a lot of that has kind of moved on, especially as we've been doing more digital sales. But it's very intriguing to basically go and see how that's a major thing still, especially in China with all like, the censorship going on. Another major thing too, and I think a big kind of counterpoint for people is that there is a lot of PC and mobile gaming up in China, but apparently it's also been kind of growing, aka for the consoles, because now with more consoles coming on and it's just overall really good for everyone up in China. Basically, if you have a chance to buy the consoles, people are going to want to play the exclusives. They're going to want to play the Sony games. And while maybe mobile gaming and PC gaming kind of have a big, foothold over all the gamers over there, it mainly kind of means that it's kind of, I guess overall nice that, people have a chance to have different options. So why is this bad? I kind of already touched on it. It's kind of an obvious thing overall. I think it's okay. Like say when India had their first initial restocks and also their first initial waves. Same with like, Europe or Canada. I think it is good to get everyone into gaming. I really stand by that. No matter where you live, no matter who you are, I think you should be allowed to play games and get consoles and have fun playing games that all of us like. But I will always have to go and say too, it does also impact other markets. I think India was also a good example as well, where if you have another 2.5 billion people in these Asian markets, that is number one, a lot of consoles that have to go and divvy on out and also make sure you have the supply for it. And then number two, Sony does actually have to have initial stock to release it. And that does sometimes take stock away from places like Europe, Canada, America, Australia, because they do have to go and pre-make these consoles for when they go and sell them up in China itself. So that's another major thing. We saw that a little bit, I think, throughout the Indian time where they were trying to go prep up pre-orders. Same with Thailand as well, because since they had to go have the consoles available for these other really big major regions, it does sometimes go and soak up stock away from other places such as America. And that's overall technically kind of bad for us. But I will be honest, a lot of us in these actual regions, such as America, we have been overly spoiled when it comes to actual restocks. We've had a lot of major restocks, especially during the holidays. And even now, we are still seeing a lot more restocks happening on these major retailers. The Walmarts, Amazons, Best Buys, etc. We are still getting stock. But it is also going to be maybe a little bit harder if we have billions of people as well competing for the consoles, and more so kind of having to go compete with Sony themselves in terms of how they're going to go and divvy out the stock they're making for everyone overall. When it comes to places like Japan, Japan's been very, very heavily starved when it comes to actual consoles themselves. The actual overall console market has been decimated when it comes to Japan. It's basically all scalpers. We can touch on that in another video if you guys would like. But in terms of that stuff, even some things like the Switch are still #1 sellers, and this is competing against a brand new console that just basically came on out in the first place, aka the last few months. We've also been kind of seeing that a little bit too as well in like the European markets and even America, where things like the Switch are still selling astronomically high, especially when you compare it towards actual brand new consoles themselves. So I think also throwing another factor of throwing in the pre-orders that Sony will have to make the consoles for and will have to allocate for, as well as also going and actually having more places to go compete against us, aka you have India, Thailand, Europe, etc. It will make it harder to get consoles. Like there's no other way around it unless Sony and AMD do go have a massive increase in terms of productivity, open up more factories, or have some way to kind of go convert other different types of unused factories or underused factories into producing more consoles, such as making more PlayStations or actually making more Xbox Series X's. And when it comes to having billions of people overall trying to go get these consoles, and when the markets are still very hot, especially when it comes to resellers, when people are still paying $1,000 in China for all these restocks themselves, with billions of people around there, that does mean that there is going to be a lot more competition when it comes to actually getting these consoles. Now, there might be one really kind of quick counterpoint where more kind of like the PC and mobile gaming, where that China is where basically we're trying to focus is on, or on the secondary fact of, well, China has a lot more of a, farmland or not necessarily fully in the city. Even then, the astronomical amount of people that live in places like India or China is insane. Even in more so actual, like in the proper cities themselves, not impoverished areas, it is insane. It's very, very, very high. So even then, that does affect the stock. There is quite a few people who may not be able to go and casually afford it, but also if you guys factor on in, it's sometimes just the same price of like a current iPhone. And many, many people up in China, Japan, etc., can easily go and afford it, especially if you factor in on how many billions of people are actually there. So I think overall, this is probably going to maybe make getting consoles, if we still are having like big supply shortages and also having issues, going on with everything around the world, still in the next maybe like 2 or 3 months, because this could be as early as even in April. And I do also want to make a quick little note over here. I do think it's a little bit dumb on Sony's behalf, and this is kind of a big thing you guys would love to hear your opinions on. I do think it's a little bit dumb on Sony's behalf, because I feel as of now, the supply itself is so small, especially in Europe, especially in the United States still as well, and the demand is so high, it's almost hard to keep on having them see and work in even more consoles to other different regions, when even now in America, in Europe, in Canada, in Australia, we are still very, well, we need the consoles. We just really need the consoles. So getting all this extra competition mixed down in with the Indian markets and Chinese markets, I want them to have consoles. I want everyone to have games on this. I want everyone to be a gamer no matter where you live. But it does make it a little bit harder when we for sure know we will have supply shortages in all these areas, and adding in another major place, aka China, may make this a little bit harder as well. So that's kind of my thoughts overall on the actual video itself. We do know that China's going to be entering the actual Sony market very soon. As I said, as early as honestly maybe even April or May. There's always a chance for even earlier than that too as well, depending, and also depends on the pre-orders when the pre-orders go live. If you guys base it on the either Indian as well as American pre-orders, it seemed like it was about a month and a half beforehand, and then they would also have to go and allocate towards getting that supply as well. So this is kind of not good. But overall, I do like seeing other regions getting stock. I just mainly am worried that Sony will not be able to go and properly produce as much stock as needed for everyone in the entire world, and some actual regions may suffer. I feel like America will probably keep on getting continuous actual restocks coming on in, but one of the major issues might be for regions like the UK or Europe that are really very dry, or even Australia, where they may not have the actual priority, especially if you kind of compare that towards make a major player like China or India with billions of people that have to be fulfilled. So kind of my thoughts overall. If you guys would like to go leave any of your comments or thoughts down below, I would love to hear it. I love making these types of videos and all this kind of more newsy-ish type videos as well. I think it's a very intriguing topic, and I do definitely think it affects all of us that are trying to actually go get the consoles overall. So give me your thoughts down below. I would love to hear it. I definitely do think this will affect everyone a lot, and I do kind of feel bad because there are still people out there still trying to get a console. There's millions of people out there that want their PS5s. So like I said, as per usual, if you guys would like to go and subscribe, if you guys like these type of gaming news, restock videos, or whatever, definitely go drop a subscription, especially for the PS5 giveaway we have going on too as well. If you guys want to enter on that, just make sure you guys are subscribed, pop on the notifications. We always have our nice little sellout links linked down below with the Amazon for the PS5. You guys are always welcome to go and check and see. We also have the Twitter and Twitch stream linked down below. We also do have our Weeble. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, and you guys go and get a bunch of free money in stocks, like $25 for free. Literally go do it right now. Why not? And of course, the also Coinbase buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, and you guys go and get free Bitcoin. Always worth doing, at least in my opinion. Those are all linked down below as well. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Leave a like if you guys enjoy these videos, and hopefully it won't be that bad, and hopefully a lot of us will have our consoles by then, and hopefully our supply shortages can be fixed on out for us in America. Love you guys all so much. I'll see you guys all later for some more restock news or general videos. You guys are all amazing, and I'll see you guys up in the next one. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.